lot of injury news going into this wild card weekend, and so much of it coming from the game between the Packers and the Eagles, starting with Green Bay's quarterback.
Jordan Love was a full participant in practice yesterday for Green Bay with that elbow injury, which is a really good sign, obviously, that he should be good to go. Been given no indication all week that he wouldn't play. Obviously, questions about, will the elbow affect him, but you see him here throwing in practice. Nothing, doesn't seem like anything special on his arm there. It seems like he should be fine to play. Same with the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who's been in concussion protocol since December 22nd. He was a full participant in practice on Thursday for the first time since entering concussion protocol. That's a key step. It seems like the only step he has left to clear is to be cleared by the independent neurotrauma consultant to play on Sunday. Barring a setback, barring a recurrence of concussion symptoms, he should be good to go for that game Sunday. And the other question is, will he have his top wide receiver, A.J. Brown, who's dealing with a knee injury? He did not practice at all on Thursday. I've been told the Eagles expect him to play in the game, and that the reason they held him out of practice Thursday was as part of a rest plan to make sure that he's at his best come Sunday. But he is dealing with a knee issue, and it's something worth watching as to whether it'll affect him in the game.
That feels enormously significant to me. Let's deal with both sides of this thing, Lewis. Let's start with the Eagles side of this. You've got a quarterback who's coming back, hasn't played in a long time. Will there be some rust? Will they call the game differently based upon him coming off the concussion? Now, all of a sudden, A.J. Brown has a knee. We assume he'll play, but who knows if he'll be at his best. Yeah. I'm thinking, if I'm Green Bay, and this is just me, and you tell me, no matter what happens, Saquon Barkley is not beating me in this game, right? I'm going to make someone whose name is not Saquon beat me in this game.
Yeah, obviously they're going to allocate significant resources, to use that phrase, to try and limit Saquon. So is every other team. And he still went over 2K. The guys, that's special. The running game is just that special. But there's no doubt you're making a more concentrated effort to say, hey, look, we have to make sure we take 26 out of the game. And anytime when we're talking about the run game, that number one, that Jalen Hurts wants to put himself in harm's way, meaning they want to run the zone read, they want to run some kind of RPO, and he wants to get on the perimeter. Let's make sure, legally, of course, we touch him. We let him know that this is a football game. We let him know that, you know what, we have pads on, we have helmets, you have knee pads. Some people wear mouthpieces, some people don't. We're going to see how you feel and how you feel about the contact part of this game. Because when you take A.J. Brown out of it, obviously that shrinks the talent pool as far as the number of things we have to worry about. But without a doubt, you want to make sure, Jalen, you feeling okay? Yeah. You feeling okay, Jalen? You want to make sure you ramp that up legally, of course.
Yeah. No doubt. So I love that you said that, because as quarterbacks, we know that as well. Especially if we have a brain injury, whatever it is, like a concussion or an ankle or something like that. We know defenders are going to try to touch those things to make us knock us off our faults. But the other part for Jalen is he still has to be able to run the football. That's what he does best. And I also think that's a big reason why Saquon did get the 2K like he did, because you have to respect Jalen as a runner. So if he does pin and pull on some of those zone reads, be responsible and slide. Like, you got a long way to go to get to the Super Bowl, and this team needs him on the football field. So you can still run and make plays, but if you get 4 or 5 yards as a quarterback, that's a plus for us, because now it's 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10.
If you're Kellen Moore and you're Nick Sirianni and you're calling your offense in this game, are you calling all of the designed quarterback run? Are you calling the tush push? Are you putting Jalen's head into harm's way as frequently as you normally would?
I think the game conditions will dictate that. It will be about whether or not they're able to slow down Saquon Barkley. If the passing game does start to falter, if they need that guy, if they need the quarterback to be a factor as far as being a true dual threat, then I think then you start calling some things, because look, if you don't win the game, you don't get a chance to play next week. So they're gonna start. They'll let the game dictate that.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have had an issue with slow starts this year, right? Like, there was that stretch where they didn't score in the first quarter, like for the first half of the season. The Packers want to play as it evolved throughout the year. They want to play Jacobs and beat you with the middle of their offensive line, and kind of, if they're able to do that and kind of control the first quarter, you do start to wonder if the Eagles start to get a little nervous and maybe change the way they're going to go about it.
And then let me show the video. Can we put the Jordan Love video back up there, please? Because EJ saw something very important on it as a quarterback. We speculated yesterday with the elbow injury, the nerve, and maybe a little bit of less feeling in the fingers, whether or not he would be wearing a glove. And as you watched that video, you had some interesting observations.
Yeah, well, there's two things things about wearing a glove as a quarterback. If you don't wear it all the time, it takes 3 or 4 days to get used to spinning the football with the glove. It's an adjustment. But if I'm practicing and I'm coming off an elbow injury where I had some weird feelings in my hands, I'm just still going to try to throw the football. So what I'm saying is, I think Jordan's healthy enough to still play in this football game. Now, the cautionary part for him is if this thing gets banged around.
Right.
If you get into the second quarter and you try to brace yourself and you come down on that elbow, do you start to have some issues with the hand? But ultimately, I think he's fine enough and healthy enough to still throw without it.
You know what else that you like to see is every time he released the ball there, you don't see him shaking his hand. You don't see him looking at it, rubbing it or nothing. Yeah. There was no reaction to it whatsoever. And look, I don't know about any of y'all, but if that thing was hurting, I'd be letting people know, hey, look, every throw. It seems like it's a non-factor for him right now, which is a good sign.
Yes, otherwise they're going to, those guys are going to touch it.
They're going to touch that thing. Yeah. Hey, how's that hand feel? How's that elbow?
Hand hard and all that kind of stuff. Hold on, man.
The quarterbacks are going to get touched on Sunday in Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Joe Fortenbaugh is here. He's got his best bets. He is our betting expert extraordinaire, and he is always the man with the plan. Let's get to that game first. Packers, Eagles, which side do you like?
The 5 with Philadelphia. They're rested. They've got home field. The crowd noise well balanced. But this is a bet against the Green Bay Packers, who, when they step up in class this season, tend to have a lot of problems. Against playoff teams this year, 2-5 straight up, 2-5 against the spread, allowing 27 points per game. Against the 3 best teams in the NFC this year, Detroit, Philly, and Minnesota, 0-5, allowing 30 points per game. Don't discount the loss of wide receiver Christian Watson to this offense. With him on the field, 6.8 yards per play. Without him, 5.4 yards per play. He stretches the field so other guys can eat. I think they're going to struggle. I like Philly to cover.
Stay in the state. What's your best bet? Steelers, Ravens, Saturday night.
Low-scoring game, under 43.5. Total open 46. It's been nothing but under money, and for good reason. The Baltimore defense has undergone a significant transformation since week 10 because they moved safety Kyle Hamilton to free safety exclusively. First 10 weeks of the year, look at that. They were 25th in scoring defense, 27th in EPA. Since moving Hamilton to free safety, first in scoring defense, first in defensive EPA. The Zay Flowers loss on offense for Baltimore, huge. He's their top wide receiver. He's Lamar's number 1 look, number 1 read most of the time.
Highest in the league this season. So for more on this, Dan Graziano joins us now. He'll be covering the game this week. And so, Dan, what are both of the teams saying about what's different with Josh Allen this year?
Well, you mentioned Josh Allen under pressure, Kelsey. He has his best season by far in terms of avoiding sacks and avoiding interceptions. And I was asking some of his teammates what's different about him this year. And tight end Dawson Knox kind of said, it's just really a calm confidence in just the way he communicates with the rest of the team. He leads this meeting every Friday morning that's just him and the offense and no coaches, where he goes around the room and asks guys what kind of plays they feel good about, what kind of plays they don't like. He said just really took more of a leadership role in terms of making sure everybody else's voice is heard and communicated back to the coaches. And they feel like that's helped the entire team's confidence as well as his.
I would imagine that's exactly what you want to see from your franchise quarterback, who just keeps getting better and better. And in the wild card round, he's got 13 touchdowns, tied for the 3rd most since the round was instituted in 1978. Meanwhile, how about Bo Nix? He's got the Broncos in the playoffs for the first time since 2015. So what are the players saying about Bo Nix and his ability and what he's done?
Yeah, I talked to one of their tight ends, Adam Troutman, who's played in this offense for a while, played for Sean Payton in New Orleans before going to Denver, and he was kind of amazed. He said Bo Nix, he said he doesn't even wear a wristband, he said, which is amazing considering our offense is one of the wordiest and most complicated in the league. But they really feel like Bo Nix has always had a confidence about him that has allowed him to sort of transcend the troubles he had early in the year. And has grown into the role of starting quarterback and kind of grown in this offense as the year has gone along. They have a tremendous amount of belief and faith in Bo Nix, even though he is a rookie. They feel like they've seen him grow, and they felt like he had it under control the whole time. So they're not concerned about, his first playoff start being too big for him.
And somehow, even the season he's had, I still feel like it's like a quiet 29 passing touchdowns, 2nd most by a rookie in NFL history. What a season it's been for him, Dave.
So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. On the return, here comes Cordero Patterson. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Now a first carry for the Alabama product, Najee Harris. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. On first down, right back to Harris. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's second down. They'll give it to Harris again. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Another run here with Harris. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. They're going to run out of the gun, and here's Harris. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up third down. Out of the gun, here's Russ. That is hot! And he will get into the end zone. Calvin Austin. Touchdown, Steelers. Chris Boswell on for the point after. It's up and good. And the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Right to the air goes Daniels. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete. They'll try again here, second and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Luke McCaffrey, the intended receiver. Now it's going to be third down. From the shotgun on third down, Daniels. 15-yard pickup there. First down, Washington.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
Off he goes.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before break. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man complete. He's to the 15. And he's in for the touchdown.
Because it is so simple. It's something that these two have done and thrown together for years and years. Maybe not to each other, but since Pop Warner. They've been running the go route. Just run right by him, and if you're even, you're leaving, and I'm going to drop it right over the top.
Now to throw. And the conversion is no good as that pass falls incomplete.
Couldn't be a little armchair quarterback after that call. Looked like the defense knew exactly what was coming.
Well, time making this all but impossible, but they're going to try for the onside kick here anyway. And this is going to be covered up by the Commanders. That should just about lock up the win. And Washington finishes the return to the end zone. Touchdown! The Commanders picked up the fumble and ran it home.
He gets it to go, and the Commanders will move out to a 14-7 lead. Seibert now following the touchdown. He's out to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from his own end zone. Not much on the return. They'll stop him at the 17. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. A play fake. Now it's he fumbled the football. And the defense has it. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big...
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Daniel's going to try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he will get into the end zone, and a two-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game.
Here's Eckler. And he's brought down for a loss. The Commanders in the hurry-up. They're hustling for the line. To throw. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. Here he is to throw. Someone got a piece of that downfield throw, but it is caught anyway. And that's a Washington touchdown. So there's part one, Brock. They get the touchdown that they desperately needed. Now, you'd imagine, comes a try for 2.
Yeah, and this might be just as tough as to go get that touchdown they just did, because, well, they work on two-point conversions, but they're difficult.